Hi everybody and welcome to Valley Crafty Corner. Today is a scrapbook process video and it's called Today is the Day, and it's going to say Today is the Day Hoover Dam. I'm using some pictures that I took when I went on my Vegas vacation in March 2012, so almost a year ago. And I'm using some of the pieces of paper from the January kit called Block Party. And the only piece that isn't from, or the only paper that isn't from the collection is that kind of like orangey reddish chevron piece. And that's from the Seen and Noted collection. The arrow paper is from the Seen and Noted collection as well. And that kind of honeycomb print, I believe, is a Studio Calico exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. So this was the first scrapbook page that I've done since doing my December daily, and I found it a little hard to get back into it, so I wanted to keep just kind of a block orientation because I thought it would be easier than to me start to fiddling with layers when it was kind of it was hard for me to look at a 12 by 12 sheet of paper after looking at a 6 by 8 and trying to put everything on the page. So I figured if I went into the block pattern, then I more or less all I would have to do would be focus on each individual block. And you'll notice now that on that black camera print, I put in the top left corner as well as on that chevron piece, and I also added a piece of yellow chevron washi tape as well. And it's really hard for the camera to pick up, but I did trace around each of those pieces with just a black pen. I think it was 0.01. I just wanted to keep it pretty fine. And I went around that Today is the Day piece, and that was from the Pebbles family. It's like the journal jots or whatever you call it, family sayings from Pebbles. And here I'm just laying everything down so it kind of matches into a block square. And I wanted to use these stamps, but I wasn't really sure how I was going to use it at first. And I really like the idea of taking those arrows and just kind of going around the square block that I had put down, just to emphasize the squareness of it. And so I'm just using some, I believe it's Cup of Joe ink from Hero Arts, and my head is going to be in this shot quite a bit, and I apologize. Actually, pretty much this whole layout, my head seems to get in the way. I don't know why, but I don't know if my camera angle changed or what's going on, but anyway, my head is going to be in the way. Sorry. So here again, I'm just going around the whole thing. And just a little bit of background about this picture. Went to Vegas with my sister and brother-in-law. I'm not sure if anybody remembers or not. We rented a car and we drove to Hoover Dam to check it out and did some kind of roadside tours kind of thing, like on our own, and walked across that bridge up on top. I'm not sure what the name of the bridge is. I'm sure somebody knows what it is, but I don't remember. But anyway, it was a pretty fun day and it was pretty warm, so yeah. Anyway, just kind of moving along here. And I thought about adding that. There was a little space there where that arrow was kind of missing, and I thought about adding it, and it just was scared that I was going to wreck it, so I just decided not to. And those are some arrows and geotags and some kind of like photo prompts or journal prompts or whatever you want to call it from the collection that I kind of thought about using, or from the January kit. And here I brought out some Fifth and Frolic tags to see if I wanted to use those, and I didn't. I brought out a couple things you'll see here. I brought out some chipboard, and the Fifth and Frolic, it just didn't go with the Seen and Noted because it's very pastel-y. And the Scene and Noted papers are very bright and vibrant, and it just didn't go. And I thought about using this camera chipboard piece, but it was just really big. It kind of distracted away from the picture, and I didn't really want to do that too much. And here you can see I brought out on like one of those what do they call it, like stencil tags, where it has like today kind of cut out of the tag, and I tried thinking about using that, but I didn't. And then those little photo squares, those are from actually close to my heart. I didn't use that camera, but I really liked how those photo corners added a little bit. And actually, I think I would add another one in that top right corner of the picture just to kind of balance it a little bit. And here I'm taking some of these red stickers that came in the kit, and I'm just going to spell out Hoover Dam underneath the today is the day. And I started out with all capitals, and I just didn't think I had the proper spacing, so you'll see me take them off and put them away, and then I'm gonna go to like capitalizing the first letter, and then all the other letters will be in the small caps. I really like those little letters. They kind of remind me of the Oh Snap sticker letters, just in a smaller font. But they really go quite well with the Scene and Noted paper, which I'm a fan of. I haven't even had too much of a chance to work with it yet. I'm hoping that I'll be able to maybe use some more of my Vegas pictures with it, just because I kind of like how it looks a little bit travel-y. It's a little bit brighter colors. So I'm kind of hoping that I can use it for it. Again, just spacing out Hoover Dam. And you'll notice my hand is wrapped up, but that was from chipping ice the one day, and it just was sore. Not that I hurt it, it's just sore. So here I'm taking one of those yellow tag stickers from the kit, and can't remember the name of it. I think they're called Twine and Ink. Yeah, that's the name of it, Twine and Ink. And I just used the one label here. And I brought out some of these Ready, Set, Go puffy stickers from the Amy Tangerine Ready, Set, Go line. And I was going to use those because I really liked that, how it worked out. And I just brought out some wood veneer people from Studio Calico, and I wanted to use a little camera in the top right corner, just kind of draw your eye across with the two wood veneers. And I liked how that was looking, but it felt like there was something missing the whole entire time. And you notice that I have that today tag still in the corner there, and I don't end up using it. I'll end up taking it away right away. And those stickers are from the Scene and Noted collection as well. Those are like those fake kind of washi tapes. And I end up putting a little bit on that one part there, and then putting the other part in the top left corner, just to kind of keep everything from the bottom to the top the same. And I'm really liking how that turned out. And I was going to use this gray camera, but I wasn't sure 100% where I was going to put it, so I just put it down in a piece of plastic so that I could just kind of move it around and see where I wanted to put it. And I was trying to see if I could use any more of those washi tape stickers, but I don't, so I think I end up putting those away at this point. And I'm going back to those puffy stickers, and I'm going to cut out that little gray car. I think it was the gray car, yeah. And that's going to go in the top right, just to kind of keep the same embellishments, same color of embellishments, same kind of embellishments up in that top left. And that little black and white kind of creamy journal piece is from the Storyteller line from Crate Paper. and I really liked how that turned out, but I had a difficulty with fitting it in with other pieces. I was trying to use like some of these scene and note, or some of these more of these storyteller pieces, but they just didn't go. But I did come up with a second option of how it was going to turn out. And like this whole process of this whole layout looks like it should have only taken me maybe, half an hour to 45 minutes to put together, but it really took me a long time. I was just having a hard time with it. I actually edited out a lot of me fiddling around with labels and stickers and a whole bunch of pieces. So it was, I don't know why it was so difficult, but again, I still think it's from me trying to go from a small work area to a big work area, and I just couldn't wrap my brain around it at first. And you'll see I took one of those yellow chipboard geotags from the Studio Calico pieces and added it just between the day and Hoover Dam. And I really liked how that turned out. It a little emphasized where we were a little bit, just drew your focus to that. And again, you're seeing me fiddle around with that today sticker. And that's one of those, it's actually a piece that I downloaded from the Silhouette Studio, and I was going to use it, but it just didn't go anywhere. And I'm actually fiddling through, I have a little Corningware dish, and maybe I'll show it one time. I have just a little tiny Corningware dish. I mean, it doesn't serve any purpose for anything. It's so small. So I use it to put all my kind of like little tiny like journaling pieces, arrows, labels, and stuff like that in it, just so that it's easy for me to kind of flip through just to see if there's anything that I might use. And I found these Elf Studio labels, and I found this red one, and I really liked how that went because it put a little bit more of the red back into the layout, which was getting to the point where I was using a lot of yellows and blues. So I wanted to put a little bit more back into the layout. And I took one of those paper clips that looks like kind of like a geotag, I guess. I'm not really sure what you would call that. It's like an arrow with a geotag kind of on it. I put that underneath that arrow paper just to kind of put your focus on to the journaling spot. And I'm just looking for some arrows to see how I want to put that together. And I found this little me journal prompt thing, and I really wanted to use it because it was only me in the photo. And there's not very many pictures of me. When you're the one that takes all the pictures, there's very rarely are there any pictures of you in pictures. I know I'm not explaining that right, but I'm sure you people know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyway, it was nice to have just a picture of me in a photo for once, or to even have me in any of the photos, especially when you just go on holidays, when it's only you. And I went with my brother and sister-in-law, and we don't live in the same province, so my sister took this photo for me of me, so it was kind of nice. But I'm sure you guys know what I mean about it's hard for us to step out behind the camera and to get a picture of ourselves. So anyway, I added that cluster where it was the little potty people girl and the camera, and then I added a little green arrow. And I was cutting that little L Studio piece down, and I figured before I cut it down too much, I wanted to add my journaling in just so I knew how much room I was going to need for that little label. So here I'm just adding my journaling in, and I just kept it really simple and short because I have other pictures of this particular day, so I figured this would kind of be like my lead-in title page to the Hoover Dam. So that's the plan anyway for the scrapbook, or for my scrapbook of this particular trip. And I was kind of looking for something at this moment, and I remember that I had that right here, right now stamp from the kit. And at first I tried stamping it in this Hero Arts brown ink, and it just didn't go well on the sticker just because it was so slick. It didn't stay very well. So I decided I would re-stamp it, and I used some Hero Arts Jet Black ink in the archival ink just because it stays a little better on slicker surfaces. So I like how that actually looks a little bit better. And it has that little bit of a brown hue underneath it, so it's kind of cool. And here I'm just cutting off that label piece a little bit more, and I'm just going to attach it right there and add this little bicycle flare that came in the kit. And here I'm working on this top right in little cluster, and all I am is just more or less just piecing everything down. And then I'm going to add a little arrow piece to this. And I forgot to add that little sticker to the back of that flare badge. So here I'm just sticking it down, and then we're going to take a quick look at the close-ups. And I was just looking at it just to make sure I was happy with it. So there's that cluster over there. And the other cluster, and the stamping around the edge. So thanks for watching, and watch for the close-ups.